They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses. Of course, sir. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a... Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I'm sure she can help out. Maybe some about other books? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Annette's expression remains ever so helpful, but she doesn't say anything.
Okay. Oh, kings and queens and... I think that's why...
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
The pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think.
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in...
Oh yeah, nappa gumpy, Kuno!
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong. Throwing rocks.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about. I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno, ride the lot.
Kuno's riding it, see?
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him.
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno. He says we're fucking each other.
Fuck no! Kuno doesn't buy that shit. Fucking entrapment shit. Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got. Shitload pig. What you
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno. Pig's choking. He's totally choking. Fucking idiot, Mulkapa.
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a Kuno's Kuno, pig. The fuck are you calling a third pig?
He looks slightly confused, but proud he came up with that retort. But right as he's getting distracted, you hear a malevolent hiss from behind.
Watch out, Kuno. He's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna put his hands on you. Help! Pig's got Kuno. Help! Run!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno. His dick is out.
Pig's in here, Kuno! Somebody, please! Help! Misters, help!
He's having the time of his life. Total ecstasy.
He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late! Help!
He's having the
He's flashing Kuno! He's... No one? Kuno's doing this because he likes it.
This is where Kuno establishes dominance.
Help! The pig's gagging him. Kuno can't speak.
You put him up to this yourself when you decided.
Listen to your friend. Kuno owns the fat ass. Help! The RCM is trying to... Look, I know you wanted to hit me. You got that, I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look. The Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look. I can. Kuno can smell that violent shit. I know what you were thinking. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut his shit down. You know what? You should have hit the... You're nothing! You're a joke to Kuno! Kuno
turned you into his prison, bitch! You...
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions.
Click, 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 click!
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with... Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't...
Kuno, the pig's getting... Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away...
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing here! Get the fuck out of here!
I'll die before I squeal, pig. You don't want to fuck with me. I got...
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
I'll die before I squeal. Murder was the case they gave me. I'll die before... What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games.
Get the fuck out!
I'll die before I...
Fuck does Kuno care? Shitload pig.
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno.
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis. And you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant. Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
The fuck about it? You're testing...
Get lost,
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Trying to fuck at the Kuno. Trying to fuck at me. Trying to fuck. Kuno only gets higher. It's faster, faster, faster. Can't...
Kuno gonna fuck you.
Normal is not what we got here. You've got to work with what you have for now.
Kuno does...
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected, more fever than odor. It fills. Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your butt until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the headache. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used... If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fleet store nearby. Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow!
There he still is. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails. Or isn't this something an industrial worker would wear? What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being.
Noted.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets, easy on the eye. No, there's more to this. You get this strange feel. Hard to say. It's gone now. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. This trash container is locked. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too. We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah, like a fucking volcano.
You're lucky you didn't die there.
Yeah. Kuno's got some advice for you. What are you? Like 80, right? Maybe you should stop embarrassing your...
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some sort of a Kuno-fied non-vomiter. That's right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Kuno's Kuno? You already know that slow shit. Kuno thinks you have brain damage or some shit.
Kuno, stop being nice to the pig!
Ease off, see. Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno can do. What else you want, pigman? Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind, lazy dinks.
There it is. That strange feeling again. As if there was more than meets the eye about that pile of roofing material.
The fuck are you talking about? Kuno doesn't know what handed gimps they wear.
Trying to get you to talk gimp, Kuno. Don't talk.
The fucking well! The fuck are you talking about?
They're trying to make you feel stupid.
You glance again at the roofing material in front of the shack. Yes, you should go back there.
No, it's not fucking Kuno.
He thinks you're fucking fool, Kuno. He says you climb the ladder up to your magic.
Get the fuck out of here, pig. Kuno doesn't have a magic treehouse. Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there. Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno. Look it up in the library. Kuno's not a fucking dictionary. Fucking small brain. Kuno means the gardener, alright? Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her.
Don't be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig. Fuck does Kuno care about your hunch? That's your shit. You figured it out. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck about it? Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice. Probably climbed. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even... I don't know. Mesk or... I don't know. Yeah. Kuno didn't smoke him if that's what you mean. Just a couple of...
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
You're testing Kuno.
Get lost.
Kuno doesn't...
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because it's nice and orderly, it reveals no secrets. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Before you stands vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine, that toy from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button, the soft purr of electric.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
Then 2, then 5. This is 41st.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wire.
Then 4, what's your status? Over. 10-18, 10-20, over. 10-18, 10-20, state your message, sir, over. Ten 9, repeat message, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to...
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report.
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Ten 4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his...
He lost his what?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
Ten 9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for...
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? Okay, it's gone. You're...
10 9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
He says he...
Ask him to describe it. His gun. That is fun.
Satellite Officer McLean.
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
Ten 9, come again, please. Over. I'm going to need to put you on speaker for a second. Over. officer is describing his genitalia in exaggerated terms.
Host in heaven. Did he look?
Dear God, he lost his gun. Oh,
This isn't really a laughing.
Malcolm faced a giant of Coco Nur by himself. But Disco...
oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost his...
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. That's a negative. Not going to say that. Over.
What's he saying? Share with the class.
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerve he's got.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate?
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. This is my mom we're talking about. Tell him to apologize right now.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over. Mac, he says you shouldn't have antagonized the firewall.
Who?
Satellite officer V. I'm afraid he might be referring to himself.
Fire water? He's lost it. Fuck it. Tell him to
Satellite officer V. I'm going to report that you are in pursuit of your service weapon.
In pursuit of his...
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector. Indicate
There's no use pressing the hit button. It won't start without...
translation. We're not going alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand. Heavier, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Lets you see the pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers.
This is the...
Motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat. Nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging. In the cabin, you see a set. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
Yes?
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending. You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. Very, very bad. This is the end bad. All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him. He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever met, Captain Ptolemy Price.
Yes?
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling. Force time isn't happening.
The quality of metal is not the problem.
He's enjoying your little failure. He finds it amusing. He's reveling in sweaty rage on your face. There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a moron, huffing and puffing. Clearly the technique is wrong, but nothing else comes to mind.
Let's ask the manager for the key. This is clearly not working.
Hello again, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your...
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad, lost person on this earth.
You must be joking.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have...
Interesting idea. This Everard sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some coins out of his pocket.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I don't have money.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? A lot. A lot. Yes.
The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant gives you. He doesn't like where this is going. The bed is cold and a mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. Your hands, however skillful, can't manage this task on their own. You should get... The fan stands still. The lights are on. The bed is cold. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore. He nods.
No problem, officer. Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the whirling. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was
Okay.
Good point. Martinez is famed for its occult sex murder rites. We'll get on it immediately.
The wary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Extremely.
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit. Then hit him with it.
You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief? There's no reason to wing anything. 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. Okay then. Was there any... I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. Ah, if you insist. What do you want to know? No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
What do you mean? I have no idea what you...
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case.
I can't say that it does, no.
The lieutenant produces his small, that's where his conversations with him. We all have our different... You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Rêvacholière. That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this. But you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
I guess you don't need glasses, then. Good. Let's change the subject.
No response. He just arches his brow.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than you?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Not a fan. It's just...
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer. Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted? Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to be in a deranged state. You have trouble remembering things. You've misplaced your badge. I cannot let you act in the name of the RCM without supervision and some you time?
Yeah.
This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery.
Okay.
You'll still have your evenings to yourself. Please do. We wouldn't want your regiment to spill over into the investigation.
Can I help you? Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rag.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the
Well, yes. Us and the...
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism. He killed himself.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container? We should return to the case of your mistaken identity.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation.
He's not bothered by your eccentricity. He seems genuinely intrigued himself.
If you say so, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
The cobalt blue surf. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. It must be his name. Goranci. Goranci, Quebec. Sounds representative. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove. He looks up at you, then looks away quickly. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just an awesome, boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about... So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Yes?
Hello again, sweetie.
The worker is in a deep... This trash container, with a well-oiled crack, the lock pops. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
We should return later, officer.
The trash container stands. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage. A rank corpse smell.
The victim's clothes? Cadaver in odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was stealing. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there?
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and his establishment had the key. It's just...
The lieutenant nods. There you see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. No, searching for evidence. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork? It is. Look. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? What are you talking about? I don't know either. You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some have fallen into the hands of the... It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. Only in its social sensibility.
Mm-hmm.
The container sounds a muffled gong. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back. It's a metaphor. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. If you want it to be kitchen tissue. It's not though. It's toilet paper. Still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescent. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and...
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, they're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. Two? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense. If, yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolved. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost it's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to... Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But... The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them. Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly. The threat has passed. He is thankful it has passed, and that he's gotten to keep both pens. Onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity.
Okay, hold on.
Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for it.
No, actually. Any ideas?
That's his last case. He's gonna die there.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 4112. Why yes, your precinct number is every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. Yeah, no. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? Appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a fair. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman. True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner JV is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the street. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between two options. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. Did someone ask what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are you don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges, you all in a print so small it could be considered downright cute. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copy. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. Something rattles inside, ever so, and something small inside. Light, made of paper or cardboard. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slide. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know. Without resistance or sound, the two ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. The words just crossed your mind somehow. Who do you think? Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Oh shit, this is gonna show something.
It smells of chewing gum, a touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says, familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think. Although, Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please. A merciful wind blows in from the Bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it. Your hands shake holding onto it. Every morning when I step out, you're asleep behind me. It says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. Your kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what?
Detective, is everything all right?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And that's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it.
The call when you're dead.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call because it's always there.
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do? It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights. Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape, its lack of beauty was not the problem.
You think they would let you? until you disintegrate into biomolecules. No, someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Yes, they're pouring some.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat.
What happened? That does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteer. It's the ledger you found in the trash. Without resistance or sound, the two panel, you stare at the card, willing your hand to move. It refuses. You stare at the card, willing your hand to move. It's slightly. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something, at some point in its journey, which you're not sure you smelled this one yet, or worse,